Hi guys, welcome to this episode. Today I'm going to be going through the Canon 600D. So this is an older camera, but it's got a lot of the features that you want to have on a camera, and you can use it to film. So it has got the film capabilities, and it has got the LCD screen that allows you to pivot like this. So it does do that as well. So that's quite a nice feature to have. So yeah, it was kind of like the mid-range cameras back in the days, and it's got a 18 to 55mm lens attached to this. They used to come standard. They come standard with these cameras, these 55mm lens that Canon provides for you, and it does have the autofocus and manual focus and image stabilization on there as well, so you can get those sort of features. It has got a flash on here as well, so some of these newer cameras don't actually have a flash. And again, if you press that button, depending on what sort of mode you're in, this flash should pop up. Okay. So there's no card in this camera. You've got your manual. So you got your manual mode, you got your TV mode, you got your aperture mode, you got your program mode, your auto mode, your flash on, creative auto, portrait mode, landscape mode, macro mode for if you're shooting sort of close-up shots, sports modes if you do sports photography, and your filming mode. So it's got a range of modes for you to sort of capture different shots for this camera. Yeah, so it's got an LCD screen. So obviously there's no camera, there's no sort of film in there at the moment. There's no shots being shot. So if I click on this icon here and put it in, so I'm in filming mode at the moment. So if I put it, let's just put it in auto mode. And if I click on this icon, my screen should appear. So I am in a sort of classroom at the moment. If you half press this button here, as long as you've got your autofocus mode, it will focus in. Okay, so like that. So it is, and it'll focus into. So I've got this like sort of magazine that I'm sort of sitting on, and it is trying to focus in into that image that's on that magazine. Okay, so I'm literally pressing halfway that button there in order to get the focus of an image. If I want to go to my menu, I can go to menu over here, and here, because I'm in auto mode, I've got quality, so I can have it sort of kind of shooting raw in this one, which is awesome. So I can just pivot through like this, and shoot so if I want it medium, again click on this, go to, I want it medium and large, for example, so I can select that. I can have a little beep on, so if I click on that, I can have a little beep disable, so it makes a little beep beep noise, like beep beep. Some people dig that, I don't particularly dig it. I'm not even digging it, me saying it, to tell you the truth, but hey ho. Release shutter button, image view, so that's how many seconds the picture will be on screen. Red eye reduction, so like when you take a photograph and you got like a red eye, that will, you can disable that or enable. I would probably leave that on, because when you take photographs, who wants red eyes? You look at kind of Dracula and a vampire sort of all rolled into one, don't you? So who wants that? You don't want that, do you? Really, you want to take that out, really. You've got your live view shoot mode, again enable that. Autofocus mode, so like there's a little tracker thing on the camera that allows you to focus. Grid display, you really want to put that on. Rule of third, if you're filming, for example, like if you're filming and you don't have a grid on, well, your framing is going to be shoddy, isn't it? So you really want something like that on, so you can sort of frame up an image. So for example, if you're filming this person, you want your frame to be probably shooting at that point there. Okay, so quite useful. Again, info. So if I click on info, it gives me all the information on the camera screen. So like there's my raw, large file, autofocus mode. Again, if I click on info, again, this histogram is really, really useful. A lot of these cameras have that. And basically, when you've got the histogram, you really want this kind of graph thing to be sort of kind of like even. And the more even it is, the more balanced the image or the filming is. Really, you want that on. And again, if I click on info, those things will disappear if you don't want them on. If you click on it, you've got obviously your auto mode I'm shooting in, ISO, exposure, and all these different things will come on. All useful to have. If you click on this icon, you can click on that, change your live view. live mode to quick mode to live mode back. So that's quite a nice feature. So, and again, if I click on that, I've got my focus points, which are very, very useful. You know, and I'm not really talking about focus points, but you can see the focus points, and when it shoots. Oh, there you go. There's my flash. Come on, and it will take a photograph. There you go. Oh, there we go. It's doing something. Okay, so yeah, so very useful. There's your flash. Pops up. Okay, old school. Nowadays you don't see that very often. So again, if I press that, it's trying to focus in something, and that will come up. AV mode. Well, that function doesn't exist on auto mode. I'm pressing it, but it says this function is not suitable in this correct shooting mode. Please put it in AV mode. So let's put it in AV mode. AV mode, and let's press that button there. Let's go to click on that again. Let's click on AV. Well, it's not doing anything now. So AV mode is not functional in this mode as well. So let's put it back in auto mode, and let's click on that again. And what does this button do? Well, this just basically moves around my pivots, my focus, my area of focus, I suppose. This little icon here allows me to view images, and this little icon allows me to delete and bin stuff that you don't really want, to tell you the truth. Probably most of the pictures you take, you're going to bin at some point, to tell you the truth. And you'd be like, oh, I don't like this one, I don't like that one. Most people don't. Most people probably delete most of them they keep, to tell you the truth. So, yeah. This little icon allows you to basically hover in 10 times. Boom, boom, boom. So if I go a bit further away. So you might want to zoom into something like 10 times. So this icon allows you to pivot in and out of your frame. Useful for stuff. That does not do anything. This button here, display, what does that do? Not available on auto mode. What does this one do? Not available on auto mode. Not available on auto mode. It doesn't do anything. Let's put it in manual mode. Let's put it in manual mode, and let's see what these buttons do. So let's click on that one, and let's click on this button here. Not available on auto mode. Pointless. Display. Let's see what that does. Oh, this button here allows me to go and pivot through my ISO. So if you don't know what ISO is, it's basically the sensitivity of light. And this camera is a bare minimum 64,000. The higher the ISO, you tell me what happens. The higher the ISO, basically the more grainy your picture is. Okay, so you don't want grainy pictures, do you? Really, no one wants grainy pictures. Who wants grainy pictures? So that's what that does. That button there. Okay, ISO, quick way to get to your ISO. Useful again. That one does not do anything. If I click on this button and roll through this allows me to sort of pivot through my ISO as well. Useful, maybe, if you like to do that sort of thing. Let's go for AF mode. Again, this is just pivoting around. That's pivoting around. Q mode, AV mode. So if I click on AV, hover through this. This is quite useful. So I can hover through it with this here and change my white balance by clicking on that and go woot, 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 woot. So I might want it on Tunstall. Again, if I go Q, hover down, change the standard portrait mode. And again, I can sort of go through this and fiddle around with this to get the right level of contrast. Who uses those, to tell you the truth? Like you could take it into Photoshop, Lightroom, and do this much better. So I don't even bother with all this, to tell you the truth. You can, to be savvy, but try not being savvy. Take it into Photoshop, take it into an app on your phone, and adjust accordingly, tell you the truth. This is basically depth of field, so correction, I think it is. And that allows you to correct various things on there as well. So this is quite useful. Basically, click on Q button twice, pivot through your little thing. So you want to go quickly to continuous burst mode because you died to take pictures of Ronaldo, almost scoring a goal at the World Cup. almost calling a goal, and you're about to capture it, and you know you need to go to continuous burst mode because you need to capture Ronaldo and he's doing his thing. Well, there you go. You can do that very quickly by pressing this Q button here. All right, and pivot through what you need. Useful, yeah, useful. Hot shoe. Put your camera on there. Sorry, not your camera. Your flash gun. Put it in. You know, it syncs itself. ETTL, I think it is, and you're ready to go. Well, this camera's not got no SD card. Your SD card goes in there. Pivot that back in, and you're ready to shoot. Set your camera up. Well, you're setting your camera as your shutter, your ISO, your aperture. That's for another day, folks. I'm all talked out, tell you the truth. If you've got any questions, please do post. I'm happy to respond. You know, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you for another one.